Hi class! Today we will discuss chapter 5 regarding registration or the registry. So remember that this rule is actually confined to providing for the general features because according to the IRR of the PPSA, the technical details are best left to the registries. No? That's according to Rule 5 of the IRR. So now let's go to section 26. So, the important point that you can get from section 26 is the fact that the registry shall be established and administered by the LRA. LRA means the Land Registration Authority. So, remember that. I think I have already discussed this so many times. The bigger office or the bigger umbrella that actually covers all the registry of deeds would be the Land Registration Authority. Then after sa LRA, yung ROD na ng each city or municipality. So that's section 26. Now we go to section 27, public record. Information contained in a registered notice shall be considered as public record. So that's very important. You may actually not know this, pero lahat ng information naman talaga sa Registry of Deeds, it's something that anyone can ask for. So once you have a title, anyone can, especially pag meron kang valid reason, like title tracing, may bibilhin kang property, gusto mong malaman if may title ba talaga nito, may binigay sa yung title na copy, pero hindi ka sure kung valid ba yun, you can actually go to the registry, give sufficient details para ma-identify nila yung certain title na yun, then they can actually give you a certified true copy of the same. So in the same light, the information contained in the registered notice by virtue of this PPSA is actually considered as a public record, an official record as well. So any person can actually inquire as to these information. Now, let's go to the more important provision, section 28, sufficiency of notice. So, remember class that this section actually talks about an initial notice. So, what is needed for an initial notice to be actually sufficient? So, an initial notice of security interest shall not be rejected. Number 1, if it identifies the grantor by an identification number as further prescribed in the regulation. So, you would immediately understand that yung identification number actually pertains to the grantor. Sino ang binibigyan ng identification number? Yung grantor. Number 2, if it identifies the secured creditor or an agent of the secured creditor by name. So again, ang kailangan mo lang for the secured creditor is yung pangalan niya. Number 3, if it provides an address for the grantor and secured creditor or its agent. Number 4, if it describes the collateral. You cross-reference this one to section 7, yung lesson natin, you can actually say that the collateral is, yung description ng collateral is sufficient if the collateral is reasonably identifiable. So remember that, cross-reference lang natin sa section 7. And finally, if the prescribed fee has been tendered or an arrangement has been made for the payment of fees by other means. So that's 1 to 5. The only thing na hindi mo makikita dito sa 1 to 5 na meron siya sa IRR would be the fact na important rin to put the duration of the effectivity of the notice. So this is found in Rule 5, Section 5.5 of the IRR as provided doon. It was discussed na actually, aside from 1 to 5, kailangan mo rin ilagay ang duration of the effectivity of the notice as this is consistent with Section 30B of the PPSA, which we will discuss in a while. So aside from 1 to 5, an additional information that is required by the IRR would be the duration of the effectivity of the notice. So those are the things or the information rather that should be provided for in an initial notice, and kapag lahat ng yun andun, the initial notice cannot be rejected. So what if ni-reject ni registry yung pag-register ng notice? Well, kailangan niya i-inform yung nag-apply for the registration of the notice, and dapat kailangan din niyang bigyan ng reason bakit ni-reject yung pag-register ng notice na yon. Let's go to letter C. Each grantor must authorize the registration of an initial notice by signing a security agreement or otherwise in writing. So, si grantor, kailangan niya authorize. Of course, di ba, as discussed nga natin, si grantor, again, ang counterpart ni pledgor or ni chattel mortgagor when it comes to pledge and chattel mortgage. So, kailangan talaga na in-authorize niya yung registration ng initial notice because in the first place, yung property niya, or yes, yung property niya ang magiging subject to a security interest. Let's go to letter D. A notice may be registered before a security agreement is concluded. Once a security agreement is concluded, the date of registration of the notice shall be reckoned from the date that the notice was registered. So remember this, as a general rule, a security agreement must first be concluded, then notice is registered. Of course, yun yung usual flow of things. Let's cross-reference it to our lesson last week. So we discussed section 5, how do we create a security interest? Well, we create a security interest by actually executing a security agreement. What is a security agreement? It is an agreement in writing kung saan sinusunod natin ang mandate, diba, ni secured creditor. Then also we discussed section 11 and 12 wherein we discussed the means of perfecting a security interest. We discussed RPC, registration, possession, and control, whichever is applicable. So paano ba natin ipo-perfect ang security interest? First, we create a security agreement, and second, we do any of the access provided for sa section 12, which is RPC. So ganun, no? So ang question ngayon, kailangan mo ba muna ng security agreement before ka makapagpa-register? The answer is no. According to section 28D, pwede ka magpa-register ng security agreement even before na-conclude yung agreement na yun. But once a security agreement is concluded, the date of registration of the notice shall be reckoned from the date the notice was registered. So kumbaga mag-retroact lang tayo to the time na nag-register ka ng notice despite the fact na wala pang security agreement na yun during the time na natapos mo na yung security agreement. So remember that because it's quite unique si section 28D.